Hello again, all Life Path number 8. This is your June reading for 2019. I've already pre-shuffled the cards and split the decks, and this month we have an extra card that my two little friends over here are holding for us. We have an extra message which I'll read out of the book at the end of the main spread. I will read the Akashic Records cards out of the book. For the month of June anyway. I'm only going to give you the full moon the new moon and full moon dates. I put enough people on my Facebook page to cover the astrology, so that way we get down to a reasonable time on our videos. It doesn't take us 40 odd minutes to get through a video. So we'll get into the new moon, which for June, the new moon is on the 3rd of June in the sign of Gemini, and the full moon for June is in the sign of Sagittarius on the 17th. So that's when, for the new moon, you would set your new moon wishes and intentions for June, and on the full moon you would do your gratitude and forgiveness list. I've covered those ones quite extensively. If you want to go back to some of them, some of the videos I've done, I extensively cover how to do them and how to go about doing them. So we'll leave that one there. They've been very interesting reads up until now. They're all a very mixed, scattered lot. So we'll get straight into the placements of these cards. I'm going to do a Celtic cross again like I did last month, and as I place the cards down I will tell you what the placements of the cards mean. So here we go for Life Path number 8. We have you, what is crossing you, your foundation card, your past card, your present card, your future card, you yourself, your environment, your hopes and fears, and your final outcome card. And we have 4 major arcana cards this month for you guys. There's 2 cards here that have been coming out quite a bit in the readings. That's the King of Ariel and the Queen of Raphael. So we'll start anyway. I'm jumping the gun a little bit again. I'm just going to go to your present card too. This one actually jumped out of the deck. I placed it back inside the deck and it's come out again. So there is a meaning in that card that needs to be covered. This card here, this is you. It is a major arcana card and it's called Epiphany with Archangel Raziel, and it's the hermit in the traditional tarot card, or tarot cards. And it says, joy through spiritual growth, be the light to others, answers that come through meditation. If you can see in this card here, there's Archangel Raziel here, it is, yep, Raziel. He is walking up sort of like the mountaintop sort of type thing. He has his light or lantern of wisdom, shining the light of wisdom to others who want to basically get the epiphanies, if you like. So the only way that we get epiphanies is to still our mind and listen for the answers. So it says, again, I'm going to read it, joy through spiritual growth, be the light to others, and answers that come through meditation. So somewhere along the line, you may have to just try meditation. One day I'm hoping to do a video on meditation. There are a lot of channels on YouTube that cover meditation, but it's something that with a lot of practice you get a lot of information when you meditate, and everybody should be meditating at least once a day before they go to work sort of type thing, in the mornings, or at evening when they go, before they go to bed sort of type thing. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit off track here, but it says insights that come through meditation. So there's, I'm going to go back here a little bit to the moons. This new moon in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is the sign of communication, and also Mercury is entering Gemini very shortly. And of course, Mercury is the communication planet. So if there's anything that you want guidance, the epiphanies, any sort of information you want, it will come this month in June. The card that was crossing you is also a major arcana card, and it's number 12, Perspective with Archangel Samuel. Now this card here is the hanging man or hanged man in the normal tarot. It says, there is a better way, pause for reflection and insights, dare to be different. So that's your challenge card basically. It's challenging you to find that better way. Pause for reflection and insights. Again, you know, you've got the Hermit card here. You've got the time to step back basically and have a different perspective on things, or to gain a different perspective on things. And it's daring just to be different, sort of thing. That is your card crossing you. You've got some pretty good cards coming up though. Once you've done all this gaining of information, you have one page over here which is again information coming in. Even your past card here, which I'm just jumping around the table here because it's all sort of hitting me at once. You've got divine guidance here in your past. So we'll go down to your foundation card here, and it's the 6 of Raphael, and it says, embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. This is the 6 of Cups in the normal tarot cards, which depicts, you know, going back to feeling, you know, the way that you did as a child, not worrying too much about past or, you know, future and all that sort of type thing. It's living in the moment, childlike play. This can also be relationships from the past coming back. It might only be for a fleeting moment. It can be people that you went to school with, people that you grew up with in the neighbourhood, people that you used to work with. There's a lot of scenarios here with this card. But it says, embrace your inner child, new friends, rekindled relationships, children or childhood. So somewhere along the line, children and your childhood is coming into play in your foundation. So I'm just going to keep going because, yeah, I really want to get to this card, divine guidance. You've got here basically 3 cards. They're all major arcana cards. With divine guidance in your past, with Archangel Sandalphon, it says, the search for meaning in life, consider an alternative approach, surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. So you've done a little bit of soul searching is what these cards are telling me. But there's more to be done. This is, you know, changing your perspective on things. You thought, or maybe you thought you had the right answers in that, but there's more information coming into you. This being in your past position, you might have already got these divine downloads or the divine guidance. The epiphanies, you know, that's the epiphany card. But you're being asked, there's still more information there that you need to gather for the month of June by the looks of it. I'm going to go straight into this card here because it jumped out of the deck, like I said, and I placed it back into the deck and it came out again. So it's your present card, or in your present position. It says the Knight of Gabriel, confident, enthusiastic, courageous and charismatic. Time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. So basically, you've been given this divine guidance. You've had the all but brief time to have this hermit time by yourself, to work out, you know, or get the information that you want. You've had, you know, a different perspective on things, or you'll be given a different perspective on things. But now this card's come along to say it's now time to take the action necessary. So, like I said, time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. So, in your present, you'll know exactly what you're going to do. Your future card here is the Queen of Raphael, which is a very good card. And it says, follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. So you've had all this trustworthy psychic information or downloads here. You've had the epiphanies, you've had the different perspective, the divine guidance. You've been told now it's time to take action. So your future card is you following your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. At the top here of the Queen of Raphael, it says kind, understanding, giving, and psychic. And so that's where you're headed to in the future. You'll be following your heart, you'll be following your divine guidance, your epiphanies. But yeah, like in the present here, it is time to take action. Great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. And especially with all these planetary influences that we're under at the moment, the retrograde planets like Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, what we're kind of building up towards is 2020. 2019 is like a, how can I explain it, is like, the only way I can put it is we are building up to 2020, which is going to be quite a major year for most of us. It's endings of cycles, it's being these major planets and everything else that are retrograde. Everything is divinely timed to put us onto a better path, a joyful path, a happier path. You know, feeling like this, the inner child sort of path. But I'm going to carry on. You yourself and your environment card. This is the King of Ariel, and it's been coming up quite a lot in the June readings. It says successful, stable, accomplished, and powerful. Your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success, using resources wisely. So this is you yourself at this present point in time. And this is kind of talking about career, your life path, everything you've done so far, everything you've planned is worked out or is going to work out. Professional and financial success, but it also is just a cautionary on the bottom, using resources wisely. So everything looks really, really good, guys. We'll go into your environment card here, and it's the Knight of Raphael, and it says romantic, dramatic, poetic, and introspective. It says committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. If you've been watching my videos for a little while, when this card comes up, it's not one of my favourite cards. But I don't feel that way about this card in the environment. I think this card is you, being that knight in shining armour for yourself, finding things that you're committed to, being swept off your feet by these commitments or topics that make your heart flutter. And it's the only time I have ever said this about this card. I distinctly don't like this card at all, I'm sorry. If I could rip it up and chuck it in the rubbish, I would. But for me, this card generally means the knight in shining armour, swoops in, grabs the maiden, does what he will with her, and then is gone, you know, in the following week off on his next endeavour sort of type thing, or his next quest sort of type thing, or his next conquest. But I don't feel it with this card today. I feel that this is you riding off into the sunset sort of type thing, because you're committed about how you're feeling in life, being swept off your feet by situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So I'm glad I didn't rip this card up and chuck it in the rubbish bin. But anyway, very good card in that position, and I like the feel of it for you guys for June. In your hopes and fears position here is the Page of Raphael. Pages are always messengers, and it's in your hopes and fears. It says gentle, loving, dreamy, and open-hearted. A new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, great intuitive insights. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 talking about intuitive insights here on the table. But this is going to be like a new emotional situation, and because it's new, you might be a little bit worried about it, a bit flustered about it, if you like. But new is not always bad sort of type thing. This is a new emotional experience, and it could be sort of, because this card is underneath it, it could be the situational topic that makes your heart flutter. So that's just a little message. And like I said, Gemini and Mercury together, there is a lot of information coming into us at this present point in time. So that's a really good card, actually. I'm going to hop straight to your final outcome card here. It's another Major Arcana card, and it's called the Leap of Faith, number 0. So it's a new beginning. It's with Archangel Metatron, and it says, believe in yourself, listen to your heart, do what gives you joy. So it's another one saying follow your heart, as in your future card here. It says follow your heart, do what you love, do what you enjoy, do what makes your heart flutter. But, you know, like I always say with these cards, you need to know where you're going, where you're landing. It's the Fool in the normal tarot card. I like this interpretation of it, leap of faith. He's not depicted as a fool. You are not a fool. You know when you jump off that cliff. You have all the information and the I's dotted, T's crossed, all that sort of type thing of where you're going. But I am going to pull a clarification card on that one. So that's basically being a 0. It's a complete new start or a new beginning. We can have one clarification card on, here it is. And this is one that's been coming up a little bit too, and it's the 8 of Gabriel. Okay, if you can see that picture there, it's the 8 of Wands in the normal tarot. It depicts a lot of birds flying around, like a lot to do, many jobs, many messengers, or messages I should say. It says a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. So like I said, communication is quite big in June. It goes pretty well with this card too. For your present card, you're being asked to take action right now. In June, you're going to have all information. By the end of June, there's going to be a new start in something. Your present card, your future card, everything's pointing you in the right direction. Like I said with this card, a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. I think, is it this one? No, with the communication, there's usually a bird with an envelope in its mouth giving the communication sort of type thing. So by the end of June, you're going to be up, running, you're going to take that action. You've got the leap of faith there. You've got the divine guidance, you've got the epiphany, you've got the perspective. You've been given, you know, the card of saying take time to take the action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing what to do. And then you get this card saying that it's all go now. There ain't no looking back sort of type thing. So that's a really good reading. I'm just going to turn my heater off because it's getting a bit warm in this little room of mine. Right, I don't think I need to pull any more cards. It's all pretty straightforward for you guys. I'm going to go straight into reading your Akashic Records card. And it is the Four of Forces, Spring, Autumn. I'm just going to find my book and my glasses, and I'm going to read this one out of the book. And as you can see, it's predicting like a time of year, so spring or autumn. So I'm going to read it. It says, the spring card upright shows a budding tree and flowers beginning to bloom. It is one of the seasonal cycle cards, and it indicates that you are entering a time of planting and active preparation. Just as the spring is a very full time for the farmer who is tilling the ground and planting his crops, so let yourself put a little more effort now as you... I'm just going to go back there a little bit. So let yourself put in a little more effort now as you lay the groundwork for the time ahead. This could be a very creative period for you. Take action in creative projects or work-related endeavours that require more time and attention. The work you do now could yield great rewards later. Make sure you engage in this activity with joy and optimism. You are always planting your energy into the Akashic records of your life. So as you work towards your goals, remember to plant hope, happiness along with all the actions you take. So that's a pretty good card, that one. That's kind of giving you a timeline too of what you're building up to. So by the time you get into spring and autumn, this is going to be well underway. But you're planting the seeds now to what will happen in spring and autumn, which I'm pretty sure is next year. Like I said, 2020 is going to be quite a major year for a lot of people. So we're all kind of doing the same thing, but it's a really good card because most of us don't get a timeline. We go into these things thinking it should happen right now, ASAP, next week, next month. But this is giving you a timeline as in spring, autumn. So whatever you're planting the seeds to now, do it with joy and happiness because those are going into your future records, and that's exactly what you'll get back. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Brilliant reading. I will be back, I'm hoping, to do mid-monthly June readings. If not, I will see you all back for the July Life Path readings. But until then, I wish you a magical, mystical June, and we'll talk all again soon. Take care all.